What's good, family? Back already, oh so soon. All right, I wanted to talk about emotions today. I feel like we have this misconception, right? Being emotionally in touch or emotionally intelligent makes you soft, weak, or it means like you're sensitive or, a crybaby. Which I'm not saying all of those things may not have been true at a point in life, right? We may have been overly sensitive. We may have taken things too personally and just allowed our emotions to consume us. But now this is when we master that gift of being sensitive in the first place. Because what is emotions? Do we think about that? Sensitive to what? Emotions, energy in motion. At its root, what is that? It is the very thing that manifests our experience, our outer experience, excuse me, right? What's going on in your world eternally, which is literally the way you are feeling about yourself, about your life. And yeah, what's going on within will reflect outwardly. And a lot of the times we find ourselves in loops, right? We find ourselves stuck because we don't realize that we are quite literally manifesting or feeding into the lives we say we want to change, or the routines, or the chaos that we're tired of. But a lot of that is coming from us not looking within, us not making the decision to remove ourselves from these situations, from us overlooking those things, the little things people do, acting like they don't matter. Thinking that complaining is enough. How many times are we gonna complain? Respect the way you feel. Complain to yourself and listen. Sometimes we do need to take a moment and stop complaining to other people, or not to stop complaining at all, because the way what you have to say matters, but literally that. Sometimes we need to reflect, introspection, talk to yourself, ask yourself what you need to do, because you have the answers. It's all fine and dandy to have a listening ear, and sometimes, yes, we need advice, but you know what to do. And even if you don't, you know what to do, and that's why you're here. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe you need me to say it. Maybe I need to spark the thought. But you had a clue. Like, you had some inkling of what needed to happen next and what we need to do. So, I did write a little something, which I'll read towards the end of the video, but I just want to make sure, I get everything off the top of my head. Um, okay. One thing I want to say for my empaths, my fellow empaths, right? And it's not limited there. I feel like also the label. I don't like to take on labels because I feel like they're just lived up to me. They're too boxy, But for those of us who feel deeply, right? There can we need to understand it's okay, right? Because with emotions, with those experiences that kind of left us having to regain our strength, in the process, we need to understand that none of that was our fault in the first place. It may be our responsibility to build ourselves back up because we are us, you are you. You have to build your own house. Just don't let it eat away at you. Understand that you need to drop the blame off your shoulders. Anything that you may be allowing to weigh on you, anything that you just haven't let go of. And sometimes that can really be unknown. There's definitely recently I had to come to terms with myself that there were, things from the past and emotions from the past I was still carrying with me that I was completely unaware of. And then they were acting in the background and they were affecting me and weighing me down until I had to write it out and talk to myself about it. Right? So everything I'm saying to you, these are all things I do. I've done and am doing right now, currently. Right? Just sharing my story with you, and we're growing together with this. By the way, if you would literally like to work one on one and work together, grow together, you can click the link in my description. Let's do some shadow work, right? And I feel like when we hear that too, shadow work, introspection, everything I'm saying, these are all the same things, right? Um, you need to be able to look within. You need to be able to understand how you feel, and when you can understand that, I mean, you have it all. You understand? Because everything is feelings, everything is emotions, everything is sensation, right? Because emotions don't stop at feelings, but they can stop at feelings if you cap them off by the label that the emotion has. So, for example, um, angry. I'm angry. We correspond the emotion, the sensation of just being angry, mad. But what is that? What does that feel like? What is actually going on? What does anger doesn't feel the same for all of us. And when you stop calling it anger, when you reach the point where you don't get angry at things anymore, it's not to say you don't feel what you would have once considered anger. You just don't feel it the same. And so the feeling quite literally starts to change. It's like, well, I'm not angry anymore. It might be, it's still a feeling. Things are still going on. But I begin to react different within once I lift those labels and stop telling myself, why are you angry? I'm angry. I'm this, I'm that. Nah, actually, I'm not any of those things. And when you remove the labels, it actually leaves you with more room to understand what you're actually feeling, what's actually going on, and why you're reacting to these things. Because, for example, we don't react to things that don't have to do with us in any way, even if it's a way that's an illusion, right? For example, if you come up to me and say, your hair is blue, your hair is blue, you're ugly and your hair is blue, why is your hair blue? I know my hair is not blue. I know I'm not ugly. I'm going to look at you like, what's, are you okay? Right? But now when people say things to us that feel a bit personal, even if the person saying it doesn't know if it's true or not, and just saying it to get under our skin, even if we don't show it on the surface, it might sting within, right? And so those things are personal or tied to us, having to do with us in some way, even if it's not really true. If someone makes fun of your weight and you were once insecure about your weight, and you may not be now, but because of that lasting insecurity and that impression, the way you were feeling in that moment, you now carry that with you. You have to talk to yourself about that. And when you can do that, it drops this load because we're complaining to other people and we're talking about it. We express what we feel outwardly. Those emotions, expressions, that energy, those are all living sensations, feelings, things within us that are waiting to be dealt with and calling to us by arising in the first place. Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take a breather real quick. It's been 8 minutes. Cool. That might have been a lot. I'm talking a bit quicker than I normally do in my videos. With that being said, man, it's important for us to face what we're feeling within head on, or we will face it in a harsh reality. There's no escaping it. You know, you deal with it when it arises, or it will arise in real life in a physical form where you will have to meet it head on. It's just that, whether it be in a person, in a situation, in a loss, um, in a just, something, a misfortune, whatever it may be, it will show itself. It will not go unseen. It will not go undealt with or unfed, I should say. Because whatever you give it. Whether you give it what it needs, which is to be recognized, or you feed it by testing its audacity. Let's put it like that, because either way, it kind of gets it. It provides strength. It's just that the strength is against you once it's not when it's not being recognized in the right way. Your emotions are a tool, right? When they're ignored, they manifest in unfortunate ways. They manifest against you. And when you're in tune, they are weapons for you to wield. They act as shields. You understand? Because you can now feel things. These are opportunities, dangerous situations, or just needing to see through people, giving you literal insight into the future, because you can now, it unlocks another level of perception. You understand? is very important for you to tap into. Um, for those of you who want a better idea of where you're at and just someone to reflect where you are in truth. No sugarcoating, no yes men, no disrespect, of course. Um, but just pure honesty and completely with your interest in growth, with my interest in your growth. Because I love to see it. I'm obsessed with it. I don't even like to sleep. I love being alive so much. Guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next talk. And let's do it. Let's do it. Peace, love, unity. I'll see you guys soon.